Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Tony Harvin. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I know I was on live earlier, but decided to give the people some extra time today. As I'm cooking, as I'm laying it down in the kitchen and all that. Just got wind, of a situation that happened out there in Texas. With the gunmen, with the gunmen out there. So it's a crazy situation that's going on. As we spoke about it, spoke about like mass situations happening across this world. A lot of people had good advice in reference to, Satan and things like that, for sure. Um, it's crazy actually. How can one person, Jared Sims says, "Is you want to show? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?" Hester. What up, Hester? You say you live in Texas. I mean, just a crazy situation that an individual could do such a heinous crime like that. And as we talk about it, last week about with the other mass murderer, these people are out of control, man. They're out of control. They wanna go help. No disrespect to other countries, but they wanna go help other countries. Whereas though, America is bleeding right now for sure. America is definitely bleeding right now. You got to fix your own house up first. You know what I'm saying? Before you go out there and help other people. You understand that? Help other homes or whatever. What up, Ole? What up? What up? What up to everybody in the chat room for sure? What up to K. Amen, Katie Jones, Naomi Hope, Elaine Foster, Jared Sims, Naomi Hope, YouTuber 2018, David F. Wells channel says the Lord will take control. David F says crazy times we're living in. Absolutely, absolutely crazy times we're living in. Like I said last week, when a mass shootout there in Buffalo, like these false prophets and they members want to come on, heckling and whatnot. When we got real situations going on out here, man. Nobody got time for that nutty stuff. Nobody got time for that clown, doink the clown type of stuff that these false prophets come on here with. It's real life situations that's happening right now. You know what I mean? Anthony says definitely living in perilous times. The entertainer one says, and these kids are so young. America is really seeing signs of revelation. Gregory White, Chris Logan, what's going on? I want you to. I want you to tell. Huh? Let me reread that. You said, "What's going on, bro? I want to tell you my testimony. You want to tell it here, or you want to tell it, or you coming to Greensboro in July? What up, Darren Miller? For sure, for sure. I thank you. I appreciate that at Darren Miller. For sure, man. I'm gonna keep striving. Thanks for the great words of encouragement. What is that? Vegeta33 says you live in Buffalo, New York. David F says, why would an 18-year-old want to kill elementary schoolers? Satan. You know what I'm saying? Satan. The pollution of the mind, the pollution of the spirit, man. These people got no guidance. They're out here roaming naked because they got no spiritual guidance in general. So when situations like that happen, we know it's the work of the enemy. We know that their minds and their hearts and their spirits is polluted with wickedness and demonicness, of course. Katie Jones says, my heart breaks for those parents. You send your children to school to get an education, and they don't even know if they'll make it back home alive. Yeah, man, that's true. That's absolutely true, man. Absolutely, absolutely true. Manav Jamal, what's up? You says the devil will always show up while you're trying to do God's work. Bro T, he's our adversary. At what is that? Adacia Maddox. He says good evening. He says good evening. These are the last days. Basically, what you're saying. Only the grace of God can keep us. My condolences to the family. So sad. For sure, for sure. Nikita Robinson, you put an ant. You put an ant. Yeah. Sandra Whitmore says life is real and too short. No time for this hate. Chris Logan says I'm going to try to make it to Greensboro, but I would love to tell you on here. I mean, sure, you can give your testimony on here. You can give your testimony on here. And people, if I happen to walk away, please forgive me. Please forgive me if I walk away for a couple of minutes. Dinner is cooking right now, so please please forgive me. Katie Jones be open. God is in control, and He allows the devil to do just what he's doing, so we can all turn from our wicked ways. What up? What up, Sion? What up? What up? Darren Miller says we need law enforcement in our schools to protect our children. I mean, that's true, but these police agencies, they're not really paying people much. They ain't paying people much, so and what's going on in the media. When these cities like that are looking for law enforcement officers, and all you got on the table is 30 grand a year, 40 grand a year. Who wants to go to the academy for 25 weeks for 30, 40 grand a year? who wants who wants to do that? Nobody want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You could go to a trade school for 10 weeks and get your CDL and make six figures. People ain't doing that law enforcement thing, and I know it's sad. So that's why a lot of places, they hiring like private security, and they putting the armed guards in there, and they putting unarmed guards in there. I mean, some people love doing that type of stuff, but of course, we need more law enforcement officers, but it's a complete shortage of law enforcement officers. I looked at a clip on YouTube where it's the Charlotte Police Department. I expressed the interest in that, but they don't pay enough. And they had a clip like these officers are not getting paid enough. They have to get a second job, to deal with. Of course, you gotta love to help people and stuff like that, but people got families that they gotta feed. They got families they gotta feed, and law enforcement is not really offering anything. You know what I'm saying? But a gun and a badge. I mean, people at McDonald's is making more than police officers. Let's be real. Who's going to survive as a police officer making 30 grand a year after 25 weeks in the academy, man? Nah. Tam says, what you cooking? Broccoli. I think broccoli and potatoes. Chicken. Something else. Tyler says, I was in school today and the principal came in and told my class and the others to go straight home after school because of this and many other shootings. I'm in Philly. It's sad. Yeah, it's sad, man. It's definitely sad, It's definitely sad. The negative and the wicked influence that these 18-year-olds or people like that, it's been young folks who's doing that. What they do, they target the vulnerable, So the entertainer says false prophets teach sugar-coated editions of the Bible. They don't truly know life after death. Nikita Robinson says we gotta prepare like the end times is coming. Ain't ain't that right? Sion says Pastor Katie Jones says they need to allow the teachers to be post-certified. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by post-certified at Katie Jones? What is that? So you said, so if someone comes in the classroom, they'll get, I mean, listen, handling a firearm is not that easy, it's not that easy, it's definitely not that easy. It's not that easy, due to like extreme safety precautions of a firearm, if that's what you're talking about, All right. Katie Jones said they need to allow teachers to carry a weapon. I think that'd be even more mayhem and more crazier, because it takes a certain type of person to really carry a firearm. It's just not about shooting and things like that, but it's about real safety. When carrying a firearm, you really got to know your weapon. You really got to know how to clean it. You really got to treat a weapon, even if it's unloaded, as if it's loaded. So it's very extreme measures when giving a teacher a firearm, and some places probably considering that, but I don't know about that. Anthony Brody says these kids are being supplied these guns, and I would go as far as say by the government. Wow, Wow. Texas is actually one of the highest paid when it comes to police officers. I applied there. Yeah, what's the highest paid for a police officer out there in Texas? I ain't talking about state police. I'm talking about like municipal, city, or county police. And how long is the academy over there? You know, how long is it? All right. You says where's the Black Lives Matter movement? What up, Mersha? You says, hey, family, this is very sad. We're watching all the way from Trinidad. Yeah, absolutely. Anthony Brody, I got you. Nikita Robinson says the news is sad. We who all homeschooling their kids, so I can get up with you. It's about time. Katie Jones says post certification is the state federal training for police officers and probation officers. They call it something else different over here in Charlotte and in Maryland and stuff like that. You know, it's different. But you know, I wouldn't. I don't know. Because it'd be like the teachers are doing two jobs at once, and when you give a person two tasks at once, as far as like being a teacher and an armed guard, or the same type of training as a police officer, guess what the teacher's gonna want? They're gonna want to get two. They're gonna want to get paid teacher salary and an armed guard or a police officer salary all in one. You know, so you also got to think about that too. You know, with the salary and the pay. Um, Janet Ortiz says, if we're sending our kids to school, I believe that they should be trained as far as the teachers are concerned to carry. Listen, yo, I don't know. I don't know. You got teachers out there sleeping with the students, man. I don't know if they could be like, careful with a firearm. It's real serious. It's real serious when handling a firearm. It's very, very serious. It's very, very, very serious. It's nothing to play around with. Cannon Marie says, when I was going to school, everybody would go through the airplane scanners and put our bags through so they could see what's in there. I ain't like it at the time, but it did help. I mean, that's cool. Metal detectors and stuff like that. But we don't know the situation. Maybe he bombarded his way in, or whatever the case may be. We don't know. Tasha said two lives, conversations in one. I mean, I don't know, because I might not be on live tomorrow. So I decided to get on here, for a little bit, to touch on the situation right now. Jeanette Ortiz says, but the schools are not really secure. You're right. Tina tells Tina all Tina tell all Tina says, hey brother, you're right. My brother-in-law didn't really make much working in from law enforcement, and ATX they are seriously struggling to add their police force. Yeah, it's crazy. Police agencies are really in need of people right now. You know what I'm saying? Are really in need, and this is the time for like security companies or those who are owning private security companies or those who are considering private security companies is really the time. You know what I'm saying? To get your company and to really, kick out with it, because a lot of people, they're not interested in becoming a police officer in these days at all. Not at all. Not at all. Um, you said police academy is 6 months. I applied for Arlington PD and Texas PD. What is that? Prince George County was 9 months. 9 months in the academy. You know what I'm saying? 9 months. South Carolina, York County, it's about 12 weeks. I think you spend about 4 weeks there, and the other 8 weeks is like you just go to Monday to Friday, I believe, York County Sheriff Department. So, different academies got different ways how they do it, but 6 months, 9 months in the academy, and I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really don't know. God in Hollywood. All right. Darren Miller says, why do they have metal detectors in these courthouses but not in our schools? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're right on point with that one. All right. You said schools need to have armed guards. Some do. Some got armed guards, some got police officers there, some got school officers there, but it's not enough. It's not enough manpower out there. You know, you might have like one armed guard. You know what I mean? Just one or two, or one officer or two officers, and stuff like that. Not enough manpower to really be aware of like certain parts of the school. You know, because we know with the Buffalo shooter, we know he went to the place, he cased it out, see how many guards there was, and and things of that manner. All right, if they want armed teachers, the teachers need to go through a mental health evaluation and drug testing. Sooner or later, the threat to our children will come from inside. We need to stay vigilant. Ed Grimes said, "Yeah, yeah, you're right. You definitely gonna go through like a mental health evaluation. Getting that type of law enforcement training for sure. You know, all right. Katie Jones said they're doing multitask already. It's either defend yourself legally or get bodied and carried out in a body bag. I mean, to each his own. Like somebody said, they need more armed guards there. But even with the armed guards, they paying people $18 an hour, $19 an hour. People be like, man, I ain't put my life on the line for no $18, $19 an hour. This is how some people are. You understand? Dweller says, good evening. What's up? Chosen, you says you from Houston, Texas. RIP to all them kids. All right, all right. Let me see. The entertainer says lightly armored backpacks are even being sold to protect the little children. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Tyler says broccoli best when steamed and seasoned. Well, I put my broccoli in the microwave for about 2-3 minutes, and then when the water drips out, you pour the water out and you spray your pan, olive oil spray or something like that. Put it in the pan on low. Put your garlic and herbs on it. A little bit of salt or pepper or whatever seasons you have. Stir it up, spray it. You know what I'm saying? Cook it real light because you don't want to get real dry and you don't want to lose that little juice touch to that broccoli. I don't steam broccoli because it makes it soggy. You know what I mean? I don't like soggy broccoli. I like it just right. So, you know what I'm saying? When that taste hit the side of your tongue, it just be like on point. All right. Um Retro Gamer says because iniquity shall you reading that's sound like a scripture. All right. For sure, for sure. All right, all right. He says every job I applied for, I get an email back saying they hired another candidate, so it's hustle time. Well, Katie Jones, if you're interested in becoming a law enforcement officer, I know for sure that Prince George County in Maryland will definitely, definitely take you for sure. They definitely would take you. I think you got to go for like a physical test first. I think it's like a mile and a half run. It goes by your age and your I believe your height and your weight. And then you got to do a certain amount of push-ups and sit-ups, and I think in like 1 minute. A certain amount depending on your age. For Prince George County, look that up. I think it's on governmentjobs.com. They'll take you. Prince George County. They'll take you. They'll, de- they'll definitely take you. Prince George County Police. All right. All right. Armor of God says I'm a security. That's about as far as I go as an officer. What up, Pam Davis? What up? What up? What up? Jared Sims. All right. So the police took down an 18-year-old Salvador Ramos, but did not take down 18-year-old Peyton Jordan. Wow. Wow. This is what happens when you want to defund the police. The police, the accountability stops. You're right. You're right, because a lot of police agencies are bleeding right now. They don't have the funds to hire more people. And if they want to hire more people, they got to drop the salary lower. You know, so all that fighting that people want to defund the police. Now look what's going on. It's lack of police officers. It's lack of funding to get more officers, on the force for reasonable pay. You know, so that's a good point right there at Mr. Ham. All right. Okay. George McGann says, where's the gun control? Y'all got to excuse me for a minute. I'll be right back. Excuse me for 1 minute. All right. You says Pro X says the schools in my district have to buzz you in. I don't understand how he could just walk in. Yeah, my high school was like that too. When I was coming up, Lincoln High School in Jersey City, New Jersey, metal detectors, locks on the doors, and all that. Yep, absolutely. So have you ever seen that movie Lean on Me? You know what I mean? You ever seen that? That's what basically was taking place when I went to high school. Tyler says, I wonder if schools will start to become more and more online virtual. Wow, good point. Albert, you says, greetings, my brother. When the government puts God on the back burner by taking God out of the schools, they open the door for. That's funny. That's funny. What up, Beams 2K? What's up, Gen Juice? What up? What up? What up? What up? He says just senseless. What happened to those young babies at the school? And they said the shooter shot his grandmother before going to that school. Wow. Wow, he plugged his grandmother. That's crazy. Now you know something was wrong with him. You plug Grandma Nana, man. Something definitely wrong with you. You know. Jared Sims says my kid's going to have full body armor going to the school. Going to be looking like Reno. Wow, that's crazy. Katie Jones, you says Prince George is one of the highest drug and crime. I bet they're hiring me the same day. I know about them. Oh yeah, Prince George definitely take you. They'll take they'll take anybody. They'll take anybody. No disrespect to Prince George County. You know what I mean? Shout out to those instructors out there. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to them. Daughter of Christ says very heartbreaking. A lot of people were already homeschooling like myself, but I think more and more will think about homeschooling because of things like this. Oh yeah, absolutely. Tanya Blunt says pray before you leave the house. Absolutely. Prayer is power in prayer, and prayer is power. So you're absolutely right at Tanya Blunt. You says gun control is a joke, along with any other crime. A person going to do as they will. Keep your head up and watch your back is about all you can do. Definitely agree with that. Definitely agree. Definitely agree. Well, anybody interested in becoming a police officer, go to governmentjobs.com and search Prince George Police Academy. They definitely would take you. He said they got the highest crime rate and stuff like that, and they do. Prince George County is off the chain, but they willing to give people opportunities, to become an officer. All right. Um, Let me see. Nikita Robinson says steamed broccoli with lemons. He said lemons. All right. Tyler says teachers, doctors, law enforcement should be top paying jobs, not sports players. Well, I mean, you can't fault if a owner who owns a team is a billionaire. You understand? These team owners are billionaires. They own that team. They own that company. So if they want to pay their workers, like the basketball players and football players, millions of dollars, then that's on them. You understand? Those are two different departments of work. Who pays the teachers, who pays the doctors, and who pays law enforcement? Taxpayers pay law enforcement officers. Taxpayers do. You know, Taxpayers go to basketball games. They buy the jerseys, they buy the drinks, and these billionaire owners, they also, have a sense of paying their players. So if a person think teachers and lawyers and doctors should be paid in sports players, I mean, I can agree to that, But it's the owner's business if he or she wants to pay his basketball players or the football players on his team, millions of dollars, for what they're doing for that organization. And not all basketball players get millions of dollars. You know what I mean? You hear about the LeBron James, you hear about the who else is out there? Jerry Rice when he was playing and stuff like that. Yeah, they get top dollars and things like that. But that's the job of the owners there. If it could be the other way around, I agree. I agree that law enforcement officers should be paid way more money. I do agree with that. But like somebody said earlier, when people was talking about defunding the police, when you defund the police, salaries get lower. People walk away from the job. They quit. They don't want nothing to do with it no more. It's a starvation of teachers out here. Look at the salary of teachers out here. It's not much. You go to school for 4 years, get your bachelor's and stuff like that, and you get your teacher's job. What are you making? 30 grand a year? You know what I mean? Just to be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? With little pay, with little raises a year. So people don't want to deal with that, man. People do not want to deal with that. So I definitely agree with that. Teachers, doctors, well, doctors get paid. Doctors get doctors get paid. They get paid. But teachers and law enforcement, I definitely agree with that. Tanya Blunt says, lack of police is not the solution. Look what happened when we did have an abundance of police. What do you mean by that, Tanya Blunt? What do you mean? What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? All right. Mr. Ham says they took prayer out of school in 1963. Look what or society has become pregnancy to mass shootings and everything in between. Okay. Guy in Hollywood says, did you buy the Juneteenth ice cream? I don't know what you're talking about with ice cream, man. I I don't follow that. I don't follow that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't. All right. You said there's a shortage of McDonald's workers who don't mind giving you. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Is a shortage of doctors and nurses who actually care about your health more than a paycheck. That's why there's so many misdiagnoses. You could be right. All right. JC1 says best month of the year. Happy belated birthday. Appreciate that. He says yours is on the 26th. So is my oldest son, who will be 15 years old. Happy birthday to you. If I don't speak to you on the 26th. All right. Tanya Blunt says years ago they shut up the school. Was it in the early 2000s? Made Target made it back to school commercial making fun of the situation. Wow, I didn't hear about that. I did not hear about that for sure. You know, but yeah, I mean a lot of y'all got good points. You know what I'm saying? In general, whether it's with the police officers and things like that, and metal detectors and armored book bags and stuff like that. Audrey Walker says, "Hey brother, heavy heart, so sad, but this is the end of days." All right. Kendrick Jones. Kendrick Jones, what's up? He says, stay strong and on topic, just saying it's only getting worse. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's definitely getting worse. Getting worse. Anthony Brody says, to the sister who is going into law enforcement, tell her she has to take a pledge and we don't take pledge to anyone but God. I mean, at graduation at the police academy or whatever, I mean, yeah, you got to take an oath. You got to swear, But who said you got to say it right then and there? You know what I'm saying? Who said you got to really repeat after that to be sworn in? You know. So I had to think about that myself. What happens if I was to graduate and I had to be sworn in? I wasn't going to repeat that. To be honest, I wasn't going to repeat that. You know what I'm saying? I stand up, during the ceremony, but I wouldn't repeat being sworn in or taking a pledge to that. I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I would figure out a way how to get it done because, I wasn't going to do that for sure. All right. Drella says, children in these days are built fiercely different. There's defiance that is undeniable. They will step to any authority figure as fast as they will step to appear. This is spiritual warfare. All right. God Naughty World says, "Hey Tony, how often you on current events? Not too often, you know, not too often on current events." He says, "What is your thoughts on?" You should mean my president. They ain't my president. They ain't my president. Mr. Biden threatening China if they attack Taiwan. Listen, Mr. Biden, that's what he got to deal with. You understand? He got to deal with that. I don't got to deal with that. You know, if Mr. Biden is threatening to attack China, and guess what? You know, listen, if war is going to happen, hey man, hey, you know, I hope they don't do like Ukraine. You know, whereas though the 16-year-old males, I believe it's like 16 to like 60 years old, they got to stay and fight for war, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I ain't fighting no war, man. If these people ain't done nothing to me, just like Ali said, these people ain't done nothing to me. I ain't fighting no war. You understand? But I just think it's just Hollywood talk. It's Hollywood talk, you know. I really haven't heard Mr. Biden speak like that, you know. So I'm not caught up on that China, Taiwan, and Mr. Biden stuff, you know. All right. Tyler said the sad part is most people aren't shocked because it's so normal. Yeah, you're right. You know, when these situations happen so much, you're so numb to the feeling because, like you said, it's so normal. Just like if you're from the hood, you know what I mean? And then shootings every day, killings every week or every day. You know, it happens so many times that when Ray Ray or Pookie gets shot, it's like it's so normal. So you're so numb to the feeling. Oh, I gotta go to another funeral. You know what I'm saying? They're just normal. It's a normal custom, and it's sad that we as a people that becomes normal to us. You know, killings and stuff like that. All right. Okay. Tina says, how about you get your masters and get underpaid and then still have to put up with disrespectful 9-year olds that curse you, hit you, and your administrators don't support you. It's not worth it. I agree. I agree. Listen, truck driving is always hiring. Come over here. You understand? You know, if you want to make 6 figures, you know what I mean? Come to truck driving. You know, I understand people then work hard to get their masters or they bachelors and stuff like that. Listen, truck driving, come. You know, less stress, less everything. You know, you could do a drop and hook, or you could unload, load. You ain't got to worry about that stuff. You know, you ain't got to worry about a $30,000 a year salary. You know, you ain't got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? And there's plenty of room of growth when you coming into truck driving. Come on, you know. All right. Kendrick Jones says, right, Tony, people don't really know God's plan. It's not our problem. Tupac says, take me to jail. I'd rather be in prison, getting free food and free room than fighting a war. Katie Jones, no, I don't follow I don't follow that stuff. For all I know, I think Johnny what is Johnny Depp, but like an actor or something? You know, it's so much events going on right now. So much stuff happening, man. I just don't honestly, if somebody I only hear about things when people tell me for the most part. For the most part. Or if it pop up on like YouTube or Google on my phone or something like that, you know. Tanya Blunt says why this country paid first responders, chump change, police officers, and army vets get no love from their government. Mint, so they really some pawns according to America. I mean, you know, I mean, you could say it like that. You could say it like that, but you got some people out there that love law enforcement, you know, despite the pay, despite the pay. But I feel as though like no police officer should be working 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet, and I've heard that. I've heard that a lot. I've heard that a whole lot. You calculate 45 grand a year. You calculate 50 grand as a law enforcement officer being on the force for 5 years. That's really nothing, especially if you got kids. You know. All right. Katie Jones says y'all truck drivers need to stay in your lane on the road or move over. Listen. You got to understand when you're driving a truck, it's not like a car. There's a lot of blind spots when you're driving a truck, whether it's a 24-foot box truck or 18-wheeler, 50 to 53 tractor trailer. You're gonna understand that, or flatbed. You know, so just be patient and be mindful that there's a lot of blind spots when you're driving the truck. All right. Tam says all truck drivers don't make a lot of money. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You understand? I don't know. If what type of truck drivers you talking about at Tam? What type of truck drivers are you talking about? You said they don't make a lot of money. You know, because you would come straight fresh out of CDL school, making. If you go to Schneider.com right now, you know you're gonna see some good salaries up there. You know, even for CDL graduates, or they will help you still get your CDL, and you can make that amount of money. You know, right off the bat. Right off the bat. You said your nephew stopped because he wasn't making much money. I mean, what was he driving? A box truck? You know, because I know out here in North Carolina, a lot of these places they want to pay $16 an hour, 17. You know, for the chump chains. I do know that, but you got to go to companies like Schneider, Stevens Transport, Performance Foods, Cisco. What else is out there? Tyson. You know, you got all these companies out here. You know, Fritos is out here. You know, Everett, U.S. Express. What else is out here? It's a lot. You know, you just gotta really look and know what you want, and not settle for less. All right. Jared Sims says he was driving a mini bike. That's funny. That's funny. That is funny. You said don't burn the chicken. I don't. You said if you got your own truck. Well, I don't have my own truck, but you know, mainly company driver. You know, company driver. I mean, it was a thought of getting my own truck, but it's a lot to go into it when you got your own truck. You know, it's a lot to go into it. You got to pay your own bills. You got to pay all that stuff, maintenance and things of that nature. You know, but if you know how to finagle and finesse it, you can do it. But, you know, all right. I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back. All right, let me answer this question. He says, how long, Tanya McNeil says, how long have you been a truck driver? Well, I got my CDL Class B 2012. Drove the buses and whatnot. Then I upgraded to a Class A with these straight trucks and the tractor trailers. So I had my CDLs since for the tractor trailers since 2014. You know, 2014. So I say about a strong 6 or 7 years of experience so far, and it's good. You know, I took a little time off to try something else last year, but truck driving is me. You know, truck driving is me. You know, you ain't got nobody over your shoulders all day. You know, you could you could get on your cell phone. You could stop at a rest stop, take a nap. You know, you could go to anywhere you want to eat. You know, when you're a truck driver. So I just like the freedom to it of truck driving in general. You know, all you're doing is delivering, unloading, loading. How hard is that? You know, if you like a little bit physical labor, I look at it as if you like doing that type of stuff in truck driving, I take it as a workout. You know, I don't look at it as like hard labor and stuff like that. It's a workout. You know, you gotta work. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you like in the food deliverance type of things. Tupac says CDL and HVAC is the way to go. HVAC, you right. You know, you're right. All right. Sandra Whitmore, you says the toy trucks you get out of Walmart. What up, Rebecca? What up, what up, what up? God in Hollywood says you drive a school bus. Nah, I wouldn't drive no school bus. No, no way. Box trucks and tractor trailers. School bus. Although I learned on a school bus to get the class B, you know, if you go to like a driving school, you want your class B, you might train on a school bus or a box truck, you know, but the UPS truck, nah, I'm not with delivering mail. You know what I'm saying? I'm more so like I like to do retail or frozen foods, you know. That's me. You know what I'm saying? But UPS delivering mail and stuff like that, no. School bus, no. School bus drivers don't get that much. You know, the most you may see is probably 19, 20 an hour. And with the school bus, it's like splits. So when you're driving a school bus, you probably start like at maybe 7 to 10, you know, then you go home and then you go back to finish that the rest of the 3 hours. You know, so it's a split shift with that. So that's for like retirees, and you know, for me, that's what I think. You know, it's for like retirees and stuff like that. But ain't nothing real about, you know, we're talking about finances with school bus driving. You know, unless you're doing like school field trips and stuff like that. Now UPS truck with the mails, talking about mail and packages and things like that. Well, right now Amazon is like taking them out of business. You know what I'm saying? Amazon is really doing it. You know what I'm saying? Amazon is really doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't heard a UPS truck in a long time or seen it in a long time. All you see around is Amazon. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay, okay. What up? What is that? Shaquia Hall. What's up? What's up? You said everybody must work. Nikita Robinson said you can't get a charger at the house though. All right. Tyler says, okay, okay, okay. All right. You says in Tina says in ATX you can make one in your first year 65, but like it said depends on you drive locally, regional team. If you drive gas trucks, gravel, coach buses, city buses, make good money too. I mean, your first year, if you're making 65K, that's cool. You know what I mean? If it's your first year, fresh out of CDL school, 65K, that's good money right there. You know, fresh out, you know, fresh out of CDL school. CDL school is what, maybe 10 weeks in these days, you know? So you got to look at a person who went to college for 4 years and they become a teacher, you know, and they starting pay is like what, 30 grand, you know? So it's crazy. Yes, you know, got to put the work in, you know, for that 65K. And you get a sign-on bonus when you're driving trucks. A lot of companies give sign-on bonuses, you know, depends on your experience. But if you're like a rookie driver, you probably get like 2 grand, you know, 2 grand. You got experience, you probably get 10 grand. You get bonuses, you know, good benefits. You know, certain trucking companies got the unions, you know, so trucking right now, and somebody mentioned HVAC. Oh yeah. You says you can see me in them UPS Browns. Oh no. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. UPS ain't for me. I'm sorry. All right. Okay. You said 12 years ago you drove a tractor trailer live haul for Tyson. People that can drive cars think trucks um has me has it because has it made because of salary. They have no idea what traffic they have to deal with. Absolutely. Absolutely. But right now, like a lot of trucking companies, they're starting their routes like early, maybe like 12 a.m., 1 a.m., you know, in the morning because traffic is clear. A lot of companies who deliver like foods and stuff like that, they're starting their routes very early. I know Cisco does it, Performance Foods does it, Fritos does it. They start the route very early. It could be as early as 12 a.m. in the morning. You start your route. You'll be finished around like what 10, 11 a.m. You know, but I think that's good too. All right. All right, so we're about to conclude this live. I thank everybody for coming on. I just came on for a little bit, to hear the insight or what people had to say about the shooting in Texas. I appreciate everybody who came on this chat room, in the chat room for a little bit with me. God Hollywood said you should be a professor at a college. Nah, I'd rather teach people how to drive trucks, you know. I'd rather teach people how to drive trucks. That's what I that's my retirement right there. When I get promoted, I'm gonna teach people how to drive trucks. You said Penske pays well. Absolutely. Yep, you're right. All right, so I'm about to conclude. Thank everybody for coming on once again. I hope everybody have a wonderful evening. Much prayers, much love to everybody. Do remember, if you're not receiving notifications on this channel, please unsubscribe, resubscribe, and hit the notification bell. Be on the lookout for more videos coming soon. True God videos coming soon. Subscribe to the secondary YouTube channel, Tony Harvin Backup Channel, Tony Harvin Backup Channel. Thank everybody for logging on once again. God bless. Peace.